This is the first time we've done this in a while. I'm like nervous.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm excited about it. No, I just mean that like roll the credits. I'm just saying that like we do a lot of the lives, but we don't. No, we haven't done like a sit down recording in a second.
We haven't. We haven't.
And thank you for making these, by the way. Cheers.
You're welcome. Cheers. Thanks for working so hard all day on everything else.
That's very, very sweet. You guys, I'm so excited to share what's coming. Something's coming. Oh.
Okay. Nothing beats a dirty martini after a long day.
I mean, just
gin.
Like, yeah, no, gin. Vodka, gross. Oh, I'm gonna do something over here. Hey, there we are.
There.
All right. And I feel like I should go back and do the beginning again, but I'm not going to. Welcome to Part of Love. I'm Colt.
I'm Ange.
And this is the safe space that we created to talk about all things love. So if you ever had questions about dating or love or relationships, and you feel like you just can't find the answers anywhere else, hopefully we can help you here.
If you're new here, you can subscribe right there. And we love to hear from you. So leave a comment below about this episode or anything you guys want to see in the future. Yeah, we have a live show on Tuesdays, every Tuesday. And we also do a podcast style show that comes out every Thursday like this. And there's the Refinery
on Friday as well, that happens with Brandon G. Alexander, John Gorski, and myself. One Sunday a month we do game night, so keep an eye out for that. Okay.
Shall we get into it?
I think we should get into it. Also, obviously, if you dig the content, throw a like in there. We love that. This video is not sponsored by anybody at the moment, but you know, we love St. George Gin, and
so if you're interested,
you know, feel free to hit us up. Also, check out this popcorn bowl. It's like Santa, and you're eating out of his belly. It's kind of creepy if you overthink it, but until then,
eating out of his belly. I always imagine it like he's in the hot tub and we're eating what's in the hot tub.
That's worse. To me, that's so much worse.
That is kind of gross.
Just eating wet popcorn out of a hot tub that is made of Santa's belly.
Santa is very clean.
Santa is extremely clean.
And his insides taste like Tootsie Rolls. So
I don't know how we got so off track so quickly, but I'm so thankful we did. Because
what are we talking about?
So today we are talking about the concept of if you follow the good will follow. Okay? This is about being on your path, trusting your path, your truth. And that has to do with your intrapersonal relationships, like with yourself, or intrapersonal relationship. There's probably only one.
There's only one.
Or interpersonal relationships, your relationships with other people, your partner, your lover, your family, your friends, those things.
But it really does start within. We always say this, you guys. We talk about relationships to the ends of the earth here at Part of Love, but truly, the number one relationship is your relationship with yourself, right? If that is not good, your relationship to anyone else in your world will not be what it could be.
It's going to suck.
Yeah.
To put it really scientifically, to put it in the most beautiful, eloquent terms, I would say it's going to suck. Because if you don't know who you are, if you don't love who you are, then what you're sharing is just a collection of things you've heard, right? But when you're on your path, man, like that's when
you're unstoppable.
Oh, come on.
And this is coming from two people that have not been always on their path. In fact, that's what inspired this channel.
100%.
So I think that keep this perspective in mind as we're talking, because a lot of this, our perspective comes from the pain we've gone through from not knowing ourselves very well and not listening to our guts and not listening to that intuitive voice.
So let's talk anecdotally about a couple of things that what we're talking about. So let's say within our relationship, to give an example, not knowing yourself, how that affects your relationship, right? So we started a business. We started a business in the first year of our relationship.
This might be longer than the episode.
No. I think it's going to be, we're going to go into the details of that in our love story. You can check out that playlist up here. We started a business. You know what? Let me scratch that. I started a business and I dragged her kicking and screaming into it. I mean, the name of the business, the business itself, what we were doing with it, the lack of what I knew we were or weren't doing with it, the lack of coordination, all because I had started working out and saw results and thought, we need to share this with the world.
I do not like the gym, and we started a fitness company. I don't enjoy working out.
She doesn't.
But I will give you this. I am a great personal trainer.
And you are very competitive.
I'm very
by
competitive
nature.
by nature.
And you were winning a lot of fitness things.
Yeah, I mean, we're dancers, we're performers, you know. I'm an ex-ballerina. I am intuitively so in touch with my body and other people's bodies and how like things work,
yeah,
you know,
how
just
we
like
move, how we feel it, how we understand it.
Exactly. So of course, like I am a great trainer. Do I enjoy doing it every minute of every day?
Is that your goal in life? Is that what God calls you to do?
God does not call me to do that.
I didn't think so.
Apparently. I tried to force it.
You worked so hard. So this is the point. This is the point. She worked so hard to make this thing work. I worked so hard to make this thing work.
We were
right?
cramming ourselves down this road, and
that
were like,
we were not supposed to be on, right? It's this concept of you said earlier, your gut feeling, right? Mm-hmm. You have a gut feeling about something and you go, oh, this is wrong, but I don't want to rock the boat. How many times have we talked about that on this channel?
Bajillion times.
Rock the fucking boat. Rock the boat. Mm-hmm. Boat with a B. Rock the boat. Okay? It's okay. It is okay for you to step out and say, hey, I am not comfortable with this, because guess what? Here's the true thing. Here's the real truth of it. Had you said that, I'm not cool with this, I don't want to do this, you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I'll even stay in this relationship, but I'm not going to be a part of this. I would have been like, nah. And then you would have been like, but actually, like, really, let's talk about it and let's think about this. And then I would have gone, you're right, this is fucking stupid, I'm so sorry. Or I would have bounced, and that would have been an answer.
Exactly. That would have been my answer. That would have been my answer.
You see what I'm saying?
And I was nervous to rock the boat early on. And I should have, because let's just say a large amount of money later, you know, you learn your lesson. And then things come to a head and you go, this is not working.
Yeah.
This is not.
A couple of years later, we're across the country trying to make this fucking thing work. And I mean, like, walking around with like handing out cards, handing out pamphlets in entire neighborhoods, trying to go into bars and just being like, do you want this? Like it was awful. Meanwhile, working 4-5 jobs.
But this is the thing. And I'll tell you what, we killed ourselves to try and get this business going. We were successful Broadway performers.
Just left that behind.
We were successful performers in all areas of dance, at least at that point. We had successful careers, and for some reason because we weren't listening to our path, we said, oh, this looks shiny and new. Maybe we should go down this road. This looks safer. Maybe we could make more money doing this thing. Meanwhile, we left our God-given gifts that we were both very successful at in the dust.
Without exploring why.
Right.
We just left them. So obviously this is a cautionary tale of listening to so many things, but I think that you hit on something that we had not initially planned on talking about today, but I do want to talk about it.
Okay.
It takes us in an entirely different direction, but fuck it, it's podcast style.
Yeah.
Whatever. We are so apt to look for what's shiny and new. We don't trust that we are enough. If we don't know ourselves, if we don't trust ourselves, are we enough? Are we good enough? Is this thing enough? I remember being on a Broadway stage doing this thing that I had worked so hard to do. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, because I had started taking it for granted, I remember thinking, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? I'm in like the literal 11th number of the show. I'm dancing my balls off.
What
like
are we
I'm
eating for dinner?
Dancing,
what
and I'm just going.
Make? Yeah,
I'm like, and I'm just out of my head. And I remember thinking, I got off stage and I was walking back to the dressing room.
Hey, Mom.
And I remember thinking, somebody really wants to be here. Somebody would fucking kill for this job. Somebody is busting their ass to get this job.
Yeah.
And I'm not even here. And then, as God would have it, I got injured. And
yes.
I ended up losing that job.
Yeah.
Which
and it really put things in perspective.
And it put things in perspective.
Said, Colt Prattis, you will never dance again.
Had more than one doctor.
At 26 years old.
Yeah.
I don't mean to date you.
No, it's true.
They said, Colt Prattis, you'll never dance again.
Not like you do.
Not like you do. And really not even kinda.
They were like, you can't ever do what you do ever again.
And he came home. And you were kind of like, actually, I was really proud of you because you were really, I could tell you were devastated, but you were like, I don't actually believe it though. Like I can't actually believe someone said this to me. But in that moment, I saw you rise. Yeah. And you were like, hell fucking no. Like, I don't know if I want to do this Broadway thing anymore. Like, I'm still kind of like, I still know that there's...
I don't know where I am right now.
And there was, and honestly, like, everyone has their own growth journey. He had his own growth journey. I had my own growth journey. And sometimes you take for granted, like, the world you're in. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It just means that you maybe needed to, like, a perspective shift. Yeah. And I think that we really did have to have that and go through what we went through. Well, and, like, left our business, started a new business, like, you know, whatever it was.
And in the midst of that, though, the Try video happened.
Yes.
And if you are new to the channel or if you don't know, I was really, really fortunate to be a part of a show that was choreographed by R.J. Durrell and Nick Flores. It was called Surf. It was a pre-Broadway run of a show out in Las Vegas. They happened to be choreographing for an artist you may have heard of, Pink, the pop star, Pink.
She's pretty good. And
she ended up choosing me to be in a video with her where it was just the two of us in the video. It's her music video, Try. And then I was asked to go on her world tour. And I did that. And it opened up this whole other world. But in the midst of that, I was still trying so hard to be like, no, I'm not just a dancer. I'm not just a dancer. But instead of listening to what was inside my heart, I took the path of ignoring the voices that said, no, you want to perform and you are okay to do that. You are good enough. You can work on those weaknesses. You can do those things. And instead I just went, oh no, I just don't want to dance anymore. Right. And I ran away from that and I ran towards this other thing, fitness, because fitness came very naturally to me. I excelled at that and I was like, right. Oh great, I'll do this. I'm going to build my whole life around this. And I took us as a family down. I asked you to trust me. And I said, hey, would I lead you astray? The answer was yes. I didn't mean to. And you know that now. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. But it doesn't change the fact that I chose that. Because I wouldn't listen to myself. I didn't want to work on those things in myself. It's I mean, I've quoted this so many times, but it's a Socrates, heavily paraphrased concept of Socrates that says the thing that you most need in your life is in the place that you least want to look. The thing that I needed, the thing that I have now, was in a very hard place to go to. Yeah. And I think that's terrifying for us. The path, I don't know about God or fate or how the world works or how life works, but I do know that everyone I have ever encountered that didn't listen to that still small voice down here in their gut instinct. The ones that didn't listen to that regretted it.
Yeah. This is a beautiful and a long way to share with you guys. We've been there.
Yeah.
And this is just one small story in both of our lives. But we have been there in relationships that we knew we shouldn't have stayed in.
Come on now.
We have been there in friendships we knew we shouldn't have stayed in. We've all been there, and we all have these stories.
And just things we know we shouldn't do
when you
ourselves.
Yes,
right?
Of course. You make decisions every single minute of every day. You make decisions all day long. And an exercise that I think we try and do, and we are still trying to figure it out like minute by minute sometimes, is like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? Whether it's staying with the person you're with, are you in the right relationship for yourself, or do I want this bowl of cereal? Like, literally, use it as an exercise. Like, sometimes I am stressed out and I reach for whatever vice it is.
Captain Crunch.
It's always Captain Crunch. But with vegan milk. But
that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
But I have no problem with sugar. And so, right? Like, it makes you feel better in the moment. But I know in my gut, Angelina, you're just avoiding. Not even like, let's figure out, like, okay, who cares about the calories, right? Like, let's forget calories. Like, that's its own issue.
That's its own weird psychological thing.
I'm filling my time with quick, instantaneous, like, satisfaction, right? Just to, like, block out what I'm worried about. But after I finish this bowl of cereal, that thing, whatever it is still going to be looming over my head.
I can always tell.
I didn't fix it.
I can always tell when there's something that you don't want to do.
Because I walk around the refrigerator 17 times.
100%. If she's like, there's someone I don't want to call, or there's something I don't want to do, or there's an issue I don't want to deal with, she suddenly is wandering around the kitchen, just opening everything.
7,000 times. And I don't necessarily, I think about what I'm grabbing for, and I'm like, Angelina, don't. And I open it, and then I close it. But then I open it, and then I close it. And if she just made the call instead, wouldn't even be in there, because she wouldn't have to deal with the stress of it, because she'd be following her gut instinct, which is telling us, deal with the fucking thing. Deal with the things. Yes.
Deal with the things in your life. Carve out, and I think John said this. I think it was John that said this the other day. John Gorski.
Oh, okay.
John Gorski. So the show The Refinery, which is our show that happens on Fridays on this channel. You can check out that playlist up here. John Gorski, who is the creator of The Refinery, he, I believe, said in our last episode that the beautiful thing about your path is that you can't see where to step because there is no path. It's yours. If you can see the steps that you need to take, you're not on your path. You're on somebody else's path. They already made those steps. They already made the indentations in the snow or the sand or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's
but
beautiful.
When it's your path, you have to take those steps. And sometimes you're going to step on a twig that's going to break. And sometimes you're going to step on, some, like, it. You see what I'm saying?
But it's only
I love
yours.
that saying.
It is only yours.
I've used that like so many times in the last few days since he said it.
I
think it was John. And Brandon, if it was you, fuck me, I apologize. I'm pretty sure it was John that said it.
Well,
but
you gotta
someone
watch
the show and
It's
tell
every
me,
Friday.
comment below who actually said it after you watched The Refinery episode 2 of season 2.
P.S. It's an interesting show for a lot of reasons. It's really cool to watch if you identify as like a female perspective, to watch the show, to hear you guys talk, and it's also a really cool show if you're a dude and you identify as a dude, you know dudes that should watch the show. Recommend it. I think it's great for everyone to listen to. It's really inspiring, and it's from 3 very different perspectives.
Yes, and I think if nothing else, it offers exactly that. My favorite word since 2017. Just that was when it like really came onto my radar.
Yes.
The word perspective.
And on your body.
and also on my body. It's only been on my body for a couple of years, but it's one of my favorite tattoos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Perspective. The show offers perspective. Hopefully what we're doing here for you right now is offering perspective. It's just letting you know you're not alone. The things that you worry about have been worried about before. The things that you are working to overcome have been overcome. You're going to do it. You can do it. You can find the love that you deserve.
Yeah. I promise you, though, the things that we talk about, other than... I'll scratch these off the list for us. Other than, like, you know, anything infidelity-wise or, like, you know, and we've experienced it in the past, but definitely, you know, there are most things, though, that are just that perspective of your relationship with yourself. I promise you, we also struggle with on a daily basis. Like we're still navigating that, but I think it's very important to open the conversation up to you guys, and it helps us as well.
Hands down.
Talk about the struggle that we all have on a daily basis.
Our relationship has gotten so much stronger since we have been able to accept these are the things that we fuck up all the time.
And we want to share it with you because it's like, yes, the more we learn, I do feel like it's an interesting thing for even for us to be teaching and learning at the same time.
We're sharing. I almost feel like we're sharing more than we're teaching.
Yes.
Like, we're not teaching you what to do here. We're sharing our experience. We don't have the fucking answers.
No.
We have, like, I'm so thankful. This is a fucking monster. Like, this is my best friend in the whole world. And I happen to get to spend every day of my life with her. Like, that's amazing. And I'm so thankful for that. But it doesn't come without work. It doesn't come without days where I know she's just like Marv and Home Alone, just
some
straight
days
up
I'm Marv. And if you don't know the Marv reference lately,
God, fucking bite his fingers off. Like, I know there's days where she, literally this morning, no, this afternoon, I came up from dance. I was dancing downstairs in the basement. I came upstairs and I clearly had too much caffeine and hadn't danced enough.
Was I Marv?
You weren't Marv. You were so kind. You kept being like, and I kept talking. I was like, because I was so excited about this project we're working on that we can tell you about so soon, but not yet. We'll be able to announce it hopefully early 2021 on our Instagram at Part of Love. Or at colt.and.ange. At colt.and.ange or at Colt Prattis or at Angelina Mullins.
Or at whatever our handle is that I can
just look down in the description box below. It's down there. But either way, we'll be announcing it soon. But I was so excited to talk. And I was talking a mile a minute. But I realized that wasn't there. I had to be self-aware in that moment and step back and go, wait a second. This is not about you. This is not about you because you had a big day today.
We both. I think today was one of those days where
today was a day where we both had big fucking days.
Personally, both did so much, and it was like across the board, like so many areas, and I wanted to so be there for you, but I also couldn't. So all I was just trying to be like, I love you. I'm so happy you're happy. Like, sometimes that's all you can do for the person you love. Like, I don't have the emotional capacity to dive into this with you and put my 2 feet in, but I'm in my own pond and soaking up my own juice. But, like, I'm so happy for you, bro.
But how many times, I love that.
I can only give you this much, but
you were right there for me.
Love.
But you were like, deuces, I love you.
I'm still absorbing my shit, but like.
But how beautiful.
So happy.
For both of us to be able to go, and this is not to toot my own horn. It's for both of us.
Yeah.
It's an acceptance, and this is important. We talk about self-awareness a lot on this channel, right? If you've been here for a while, you know that. If you're new here, we talk about self-acceptance a lot on this channel. Self-awareness. And today was a moment where I had to go. I was talking, and I heard myself doing it, and I apologized. And I was like, I'm so sorry about that. And then I kept doing it because it was like I couldn't stop, and so I had to stop again and be like, I'm genuinely so sorry. let me keep, and she wasn't making me feel away, but I knew in my gut, shut the fuck up. Like I heard the voice of God go, shut up. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I've been talking a mile a minute.
Just for that time,
I'm gonna be
though.
quiet.
And I so appreciate that, though, because the day that I had, and you know what? I should be fully transparent. I'm going to be fully transparent.
Here we go.
Now. So I had I so love this week so far. Because as you guys know, if you are a part of Love Person, you will learn I am the least technical of all the things. So like, I am not our camera person. I've just learned how to set up all of these lights that you don't see behind the scenes. Like, I've just learned how to like even kind of do that. Yeah. Like, Colt is over here editing and filming and doing all these amazing things. And yeah, I have like creative ideas and I'm a great writer and I know that I have a lot of perspective to bring and like conversation starter, but I mean, let's be honest, like the technical element of all of this is like beyond, and how far we've come in a year is beyond me. That said, with the project that we're working on is quite technical. Once, certain parts are done. And so he's over here like, busy bee, and he could be a busy bee for the next 72 years, it feels like, on my end. I'm like, how are you doing that? Meanwhile, because he's busy, I'm like, oh, well, we make a joke, and this is totally a joke. We always call it, I'm playing Cinderella. I clean the house. I'll make the dinners. I do the girls. I do life stuff.
She washes the clothes. She literally takes care of life so that...
Yeah, because someone needs to do that. And you have to be flexible in your relationship. You know what I mean?
It is not always like that.
It's not always like that.
There are times that I play Cinderella.
Oh, there are many times where there is a Cinderella. Cinderella.
But guess what? If you got a problem with that, shut up.
That's the thing. We talk about this a lot. What's best for your family in
that
moment?
Is.
And so there are times where I'm actually excited to say I've been the breadwinner.
Oh,
man, there are times I've been the breadwinner, and you really lift me up and make me feel very special in that moment. And I'll tell you what.
You take me to dinner and you make me feel very special in those moments.
Yes, but also in the moments where I've been the breadwinner, you don't ever identify as like a cook or a chef or like a homemaker, but this one has figured out how to, in those moments where I'm busting my ass and I'm the breadwinner, and because of our careers, it really does flip-flop like very much.
Yeah. And
I will come home to always a beautiful drink because he's got quite the talent for that. But he will make me a homemade meal. I mean, without asking, like knows that I don't even have time to be like, what do you think about it? Like just I'm deciding I'm going to make it and I'm going to stick to it. And I know sometimes you're like a little insecure about it, but he knows like I'm sticking to it.
I'm not as good as you at it. So it just puts me in my head.
But anyone knows that when there's love that goes into a meal and I don't have to think about it and I come home and you're tired and it's made for you, there's nothing better. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world. And yours are really great. So I'm not saying that. It's actually, you've developed certain things. The pasta's
cooked enough and it's spiced right.
Yeah, but you've developed things to make that, like,
that's very true.
Quite a menu at this point.
I got 3 or 4.
Pretty amazing. But you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take a lot. But what it does take is focused thought and love and, like, the energy towards, and the love towards your person, right? So, like, you always feel like, how can I help you in this moment? We were talking about this in our Christmas episode earlier, like actually the last couple episodes, like it's come up. How can I help my person right now? They're working so hard, they're stressed out, whatever it is, like, intuitively what would make them happy. And so right now, I love that you're carrying the brunt of our business, and I know that the best way I can serve our family, like, and I think that's another word that I love. I love the word serve. Not in a condescending voice, right? Reframe it, right? Let's reframe. How can I serve whoever best? It's never condescending. So now, again, it goes back to self-awareness. Like, know your worth. So it's never, once you establish that for yourself, okay, I am worth this. Like, I want you to get to a point where you envision yourself as a god or goddess or whatever your word is, right? Like you are
queen.
You are a golden goose of its own, right? Okay? And you love yourself that much. How now can the golden goose serve the people that you love around you, right? Like, how can you be of best service and value out of love? Yeah. And I go, okay, well, right now, it does not serve me and our family or you or any of our loved ones to try and, like, I don't know, step into a role that is just not helpful right now. The most help. Yes. We
talked about this on Tuesday. You're a team.
You're a team.
You're a fucking team, y'all. Come on now.
And sometimes you will be the one in the limelight and you will be the breadwinner and you'll be doing exciting things. And sometimes you'll be doing very basic things in the background. And
the Cinderella work.
And sometimes you'll find joy in both at different times. And sometimes you won't. And that's okay. But if you both are communicating, I think the joy will be there. Like, I found so much relief actually this week, and being like, oh, thank God. Like, as long as I know that I can take stuff off of your plate and just do like the work
that makes me really happy,
that I know that I can do, which is like make dinner, make sure the girls are okay, clean the house, pay the bills, like do the like the basic things, call the insurance company. And now, like, there's always something going on with the insurance company. Like, I don't know
what
why.
What is it with you fucking insurance companies?
I have
Get
no
it together.
idea, right? But like, there's always a reason like that you have to call the insurance company. There's like this change, your health insurance. I don't know. There's always like a billion phone calls to make, you know. So like, if I'm the one that has to deal with that, and that takes pressure off of your plate, I am so happy to do it, because I could not tell you how to color correct the lens version of the, 1080p resolution video. Like, I don't know these words.
You knew a lot of them right there. I'm very proud of you.
I'm pulling out things I've heard, but none of them, let's be honest, make sense. And that's good. That's okay. Like, when you need inspiration, I'm here.
You really are.
But I cannot help you in what you're doing.
You cannot help me with
week.
The editing process currently.
I cannot
However, you help me with a million other things, and it's not just the Cinderella work.
No,
as we jokingly
again
say. But
there are things
that's what our family says, and whether it's me or her, we call it the Cinderella work. It's the chores, it's the things, the day in, the day out, and that is what it is. But the point
is not gendered, as we said, and just keep that in mind. This is not gendered.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth.
Get that out of there, like.
It's just literally a reference because Cinderella does the housework.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Cinderella could be a boy.
It is what it
doesn't
is.
matter.
We're both ballet dancers. Like, we're good. We're good with that. The point is, I appreciate so much that I know that there is a portion that's coming up that you're going to have the most hand in because you have the most experience with it. Like, that is coming. That's coming very soon, P.S. Like, within 12 days, like 12 to 14 days, and you'll be in kind of the beginning throes of that.
Right.
So,
right. I mean, it always goes back and forth.
It's just an exciting thing of being like, oh, cool. And at which point we'll have to reassess. So also, and this is the last thing that I'll say about this, do not get stuck. Don't get stuck in these fucking ideas. I'm so sorry. I've said fucking, like, I've said the F word a lot. It's not a family show. It's a show about love. It's not a family show. It's not a show for the kids. On YouTube, when we sign up, it says, is this made for kids? No, it is not made for kids. However, I've said it too much today. The point being, get over this concept of, well, these are the things that we do. We had a problem with this when we first met because you wanted to show me that you were this amazing housewife. Right. I wanted to be this amazing husband. Right. And we followed the very specific traditional societal norms of, well, I will be the one to do work and you will cook and do these things. Except then I was out on the Pink tour and this one installed a door in the house. And I just
Wait,
came back.
No. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Please.
I'm interrupting you on purpose. I said that I was going to be fully transparent, and I got lost in my day.
Oh,
what I wanted to say to you is that I got very much lost in my day, and I had not a lot on my plate because of this, but I was very much in my own thoughts, and you were aware of that because I had a therapy session, right?
Yeah.
Please, can we try and normalize therapy?
Oh my God, please.
I know that a lot of our followers are not in therapy, and I love you all so much. And I
whether we know you or not.
We truly do love you, though. Love. And yes,
but
and
go to therapy. All of us.
Let's normalize it because there are tools that I can give you, that he can give you, but it's only because of our experience. And I promise you, I wouldn't be able to put this into a good perspective that I would trust myself to give you if I hadn't had training. And I got that training, and he got that training from therapy. And not all people are made alike. Not all therapists are made alike, but I think,
you're going to have shitty therapists.
Yeah, I encourage you to...
We haven't gone to just one.
We've had several, and several serve different purposes, but I encourage you to share your story and share your heart with somebody
that doesn't have a biased opinion about the outcome or where it comes from. I think that is a very necessary point. There is a really great episode, ironically, of Chef's Table, and I cannot remember what the chef's name is.
I know he's a brilliant. He's from Spain, but he lives in the Netherlands or something, isn't he?
I think I understand the concept of why you feel like that,
my head,
but I
he's
think that
beautiful.
He's somewhere in South America.
Oh, he's in. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And either way,
snowy.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I think you're mixing a bunch of Chef's Tables. They're very, very good.
They're shot like eye porn.
But the point is, he talks about the fact that he has his wife and his children, all of them go to therapy. His children are not even 15, 16 years. They all go to therapy. And the reason being, because we, in America, we reserve therapy and this concept of expressing ourselves and getting other opinions and getting unbiased opinions, we accept that as this form of defeat, right? We look at it as this form of, I can't deal with it, so I need someone to fix it. That's not what therapy is. And we talk about this, again, in an episode of The Refinery about therapy, why it's important or why it is not, like how people deal with it. I think it is very, very important. And I agree with this concept of having someone that is totally unbiased about the outcome or what caused certain situations in your life. Not give you advice, not give you answers, but listen to you and help you figure out the what and the why. We talk about that so much on this channel, the what and the why.
I think it's so important, though, too, if you really think of... you go for your yearly exam at the doctor, right? At your general practitioner, your GP. You go get your blood pressure, you get your blood taken, you make sure things are good, right? And then as we get older, we're like, oh, my back hurts. I got to make an appointment with the orthopedic, or I got whatever it is, We take in all of our physical stuff and we don't pay attention to that. This is, like, honestly, way more important in my opinion, and we don't make it a priority, right?
This causes a ton of the stuff that happens all the way down to the toes.
We are firm believers in that. And like the fact that we don't give the same credit. And so I think that, again, not every therapist is made the same, but they all serve different purposes. Honestly, a lot of them, and
not everybody of any other kind is made the same.
Right. If you're hurting in any way, why would you not go get help? If you're hurting and then we also like minimize our pain. So we're like, if we're hurting, we almost feel ashamed to reach out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to.
But if you had a goiter growing on your lip,
you would go.
That was this big, you'd be like,
you would go.
I should probably go to the doctor.
You would
At some point,
right?
I should go to the doctor. But if you have one growing in here that's just getting bigger and bigger and taking over your day, what do? We ignore it. We just say, no. It's fine. It'll go away. It's fine. This is not a real thing. It is a real thing. It is real. Deal with it. That gut instinct in your heart that tells you this is not normal. I shouldn't have to feel like this. And then we look to so many other things. And then we end up in drinking. drugs, relationships we don't want to be in, bad relationships with our friends, family. I mean, there's so many ways that we take this out. So why
if you're
not?
hurting in any way, and that's the thing. Like I know, like if you're hurting, if you're struggling in any capacity, if you have insurance, especially, please go see a therapist.
And if you don't, maybe save and like do it once a month. It doesn't have to be once a week. Do it once every 2 months, once every 3 months. Save the money. Make it a priority. I'm telling you, it's a necessary thing.
Or I'll say this from my perspective. There have been times where insurance is a very, very like important part of ours. So we have paid exorbitant amount of money when we have not had jobs or qualified. You know,
we have worked very, very odd jobs just to pay for money.
Because
so
I
we
do prioritize, our healthcare, and I don't necessarily agree with all the systems, but it is important for me that we're covered because, like, I want to do that. But in times where we haven't been able to afford, mental health therapy, I prioritize buying books, doing your research, putting time into learning about... No, but we both do. Putting time into our mental health, learning new perspectives, and setting aside an hour out of the day to go, even if you're listening to it on Audible in your car, it's so important. Listen to someone that makes an impact on your life. It could be an author. Sometimes it's authors for me. Yeah. Now, these women that I respect as writers, and I always say them, Elizabeth Gilbert, Glennon Doyle
all
Milton.
On the bookshelf back here.
Yes, Esther Perel. These women, they have made such an impact on my life that I promise you, even without without the supplemental therapy, that is therapy in itself. That $12 book that I have read again and again and again and listened to.
It's a new frame of reference. I know you are probably tired of that term by now. Some of you are probably tired of that term.
It's so important.
But it's so important. It offers you up a new perspective. It offers you up a new frame of reference that, I mean, how many successful people have said, read books. It'll help you find a mentor. It'll help you find somebody. All the thoughts, all the worries, all the problems that we've had have been had before. So
it's sort of like traveling. It's sort of like expanding your frame of reference, expanding your perspective.
Okay. Yes.
When you listen to more people's perspective, your perspective,
you realize how
shifts and widens.
How expansive and how singular all of this is.
Yes.
The experience.
Yes.
With that, I don't know how, honestly, to tie it back to anything other than listen to your gut. Because listening to your gut, listening to that true instinct, that still small voice that tells you I'm on the right path or I'm not, that is a big part of love.
Yeah.
Thanks for this one. This was really, really fun.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
I love you.
I love you. We're sending you guys a shit ton of love. We love you.
Check out more videos. Subscribe. Throw a like if you dig the content. Follow your gut. Cinderella.
Want to do our thing? Wait and do it. I don't know.